fifth grade, so I figured while you guys were all home virtual this week, I would give you guys a little sneak peek as to what you're going to be doing when we get back, and that is working on your blue belt of your Prodigies bells. We recently got our purple belt, and now we're moving into the blue. So remember, with your purple belt, we did notes that were on the staff, including G, A, B, C, and D. Well, now we're going to be looking at the bottom part of the staff and even some notes that go below that. So let me share my screen so you guys can see that. Okay, so looking here, let me get rid of that. We know that pops up every now and then. So your blue belt is going to be involved by doing a song called Crazy HCB. Basically, HCB stands for Hot Cross Buns. So if you really listen when we get back and we're doing the song, if you listen to that accompaniment that plays when I hit play for you to play your track to, it does kind of have a little bit of Hot Cross Buns melody mixed in there, but it's more of a kind of up-tempo, contemporary kind of version of it rather than the, just kind of boring thing you guys learned when y'all were doing recorders back in third grade. All right, so here we go. Let's start looking at these notes. I actually don't want to start with the very first note. I want to start actually with this second note here. So notice the second note is sitting on the bottom part of the staff. If we back things up and go look at our Lightly Rose song, you learn notes that went all the way down to the second line of the staff. But notice that this note is actually on the bottom line of the staff. So I'm going to give you a little hint to figure out. If we know that the note on the second line of the staff is in fact a G, and we go to the bottom line here, note we have to take into account that space. And we're going to come back and talk about this space note in just a second. But here on the bottom, if you go G, whatever that space note is, go backwards another letter in your alphabet, and you get E. So this note on the bottom part of the staff is, in fact, an E. Okay? And that's all four of those right there. So if this is an E, and I go backwards again down to this note, what letter in the alphabet comes before the E? I can tell some of you guys are going through it right now. That's right. It is, in fact, a D. There you go. Okay? All right. So now that we've figured out where the E and the D are, let's look at this first note here that's in that bottom space. Now, the reason I skipped that one is because you're probably thinking, well, if the second line was G, and the bottom line is an E, wouldn't that mean that the note in that space between them would be an F? Well, yeah, except for one teeny tiny little thing. It is an F, but it's not a regular F. Look back over here. Do you see these two, what looks like hashtags at the beginning of our song? Well, those are not hashtags. In music, because music's been around way longer than hashtags or pound signs on your phone, this is in fact called a sharp sign. And when we talk about a piano, and you guys have seen pictures of pianos in my classroom, when we talk about a piano, if notes sitting in the first space would be just a regular white key everyday note, F, then when I add a little sharp to that F, which is what this little note up here does, tells me that every F that I come across is going to be sharp. When I add a sharp sign to that F right here, that's a really bad sharp sign, but I did the best I could. Then that means this, every time I come to an F, instead of F regular, we're actually going to be playing F sharp. So if this is regular F, I'm leaning over to hit my piano, then this is going to be the F sharp. Hear the difference? The sharp actually brings our F up just a teeny bit higher. Now, because of that, we can't use our regular C major bells on our chromatic bells, because while I have an E and I have a D, I don't have F sharp. I have just regular old F right here. Well, I can't use that. So what we're going to do instead, and remember these can be Prodigies bells, can be downloaded to any iPhone device, iPad, or Android device. So what we're going to need to use is actually the chromatic bells right here in the middle. So let me select those. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're going to need to find the F sharp. Now, I mentioned just a moment ago that if a regular F is like a white key F on your piano, then that means this F down here, and no, we are not using these or these. That means the F down here would be the regular white key F, but I can't use him. We're going to take our note up a little higher. And on the piano, every flat and sharp note is actually a black key note, if anybody's ever seen a piano keyboard before. So that means this guy right here, and if you look super close, you might notice that his little topper on his head actually says F sharp. So instead of F, E, and then D, I actually need to play F sharp, E, and then D. And it makes a big difference. Listen to the difference again. Here's regular F with E and D. Ooh, sounds kind of spooky. Here's the F sharp we need to play. There's that hot cross buns kind of sound coming through. All right, so looking at our song over here on the other side of the screen, we notice because this is supposed to be, let me write that F in for you guys. And this is, yeah, I got to put a little sharp sign behind it because an F and an F sharp are totally two different things. So boom, now I've got my F sharp. So that means I'm going to be playing 4 F sharps, 4 E's, and then D, let it hold, D, let it hold. Remember from our discussion of lightly row when you were working on your purple belt, when you have a bell note that's going to last for longer than one beat, you can't sit here and go for 4 beats, okay? You just hit it and let it ring. Because if you sit there and tap, then I'm just tapping a bunch of sounds. That's not what we're looking for. Now notice that our second line starts off the exact same way our top line did. Super easy. So once again, I'm going to go F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E, 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 D, D, D. Oh, I did that wrong. My apologies. D, D. I was trying to do the thing where I played 4 Ds and said let the D ring for 4 beats. Okay, at the bottom of our song, we have that same thing again. But notice there's a little something here in the middle involving a D and an E. Oh, it's a really bad E. Y'all know I can't draw very well with this mouse. All right, so here in the middle, between playing my little pattern twice and then playing it a third time, I have to do 3 E's and rest, 3 D's and rest. And then I go back to my normal pattern. F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E, 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 D, 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 D. Oh, I did it again. See, this is me not paying attention to the music on the screen. D, D. Sorry, guys. Brain fart moment. All right, so the whole song is going to sound like this. I'm going to get it right this time. D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3. For a second line, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E, 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 E. D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. E, D, 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 E, E, E. And my last part, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, E, 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 D, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. And you guys see, I'm not perfect when I play it either. I make a little oops here and there. So when you go to learn this in the classroom, and if you have a little oops when you're doing your belt test, it's not a crisis. As long as you keep going, you might surprise yourself as how well you do. So again, this was just a little sneak peek preview of what we got coming up when we get back from our virtual week, when we are going to be starting working on y'all's blue belt to get you ready for the red belt. Okay, you guys, bye.